Hi, I'm Shashank Gupta.
Hi, I'm Shravika Gupta, and we will be presenting a project on the topic default of credit card clients. Banks or financial institutes play a significant role in providing financial services. To maintain the integrity, bank or institute must be careful when investing in customers to avoid financial loss. Before giving credit to borrowers, the bank must analyze the potential of each customer. This project will help the financial institute to avoid the problem of bad credit debt. The aim of this project is to make banks more efficient in analyzing the customer's psychological behavior and predicting if the customer will make a default payment or not in the next month. This data set contains information on default payment, demographic factor, credit data, history of payment, and bill statement of credit card clients in Taiwan from April 2005 to September 2005. There are about 25 variables, which are ID of each client, amount of given credit, gender, where one is male and two is female, education of the client, marital status of the client, and 6 months bill amount and payment history of the client. The dependent variable is default payment next month, where 1 is client makes a default payment and 0 when client does not make a default payment. For our project, we have followed the CRISP-TM model, which stands for Cross-Industry Standard Process for Data Mining, and this diagram explains it all. For the methodology, we have used Python to build correlation matrices and implement predictive models. We have used Tableau for visualization, and we have used all of this to evaluate and come up with best possible accuracy. Data sourcing and cleaning. The data has been sourced from UCI website, and for data cleaning, no null values were found. And however, there were some outliers in limit balance and age, and these outliers were replaced by the median of the respective column. Also, ID is not significant, hence we remove it. And now, Shashank will tell you more about exploratory data analysis.
Thank you, Shivika. So I will be starting my part from exploratory data analysis. In the first graphical analysis, we have kept limit balance as a constant while changing other variables to find the default payment. So in the first graph, as we can see, average limit balance has been compared with the marital status, where 3,300 clients in the second category, which represent that the client is single, has a maximum default payment. In the second graph, average limit balance has been compared with the education of the client, where 2,036 clients in the first category, which represent that the client has completed graduate school, has the maximum default payment. In the third graph, average limit balance has been compared with the age of the client, where the average limit balance below $146,000 tends to make a default payment. In this graphical analysis, we have kept marital status as a constant while changing other variables to find the default payment. In the first graph, marital status has been compared with the sex, where 1,860 clients in second category of sex, which represent female clients with graduate school education, has a maximum default payment. In the second graph, age of the client has been compared with the sex of the client, where 295 female clients of the age group of 24 years has a maximum default payment. In the third graph, marital status is compared with the sex and education of the client, where 1,922 females with university education tend to make the most default payments. In this graph, we have compared limit balance, sex, and education of the client to find the number of defaulters. From the graph, we can see that 188 female university clients with the average limit balance of $145,000 tend to make the maximum default payment. So now I will be discussing about correlation matrices. So the first correlation matrix explains the relationship between the bill amount of the consecutive month and give the visibility whether the credit card client will make a default payment next month or not. So bill amount, one column represents the bill amount in the first month, but as we see its relationship with the following respective consecutive months, there is not much of a difference in the bill amount, which means that the client still has the amount of spending power, which gives -2% probability that the client will make a default payment, and similar goes for the other cases as well. This correlation matrix explains the relationship between the payment amount of the consecutive month and gives a visibility whether the credit card client will make a default payment next month or not. Pay amount 1 column represents the payment made by the client in the first month. But as we see, its relationship with the following consecutive months became less, which means that the probability will be 29% that the client will pay the amount for first month in the second month. 25% per clients will pay the first month bill in the third month, and similarly in the other consecutive months. So this results into minus 7.3% probability that the client will make a default payment, and similarly in the other cases. This correlation matrix explains the relationship between the repayment status of the consecutive months and gives the visibility whether the credit card clients will make a default payment next month or not. So a client in the month 1 has 32% chance that it will make a default payment, and similar goes for other cases as well. This correlation matrix gives a broader angle to understand the relationship between different payment cycle variables and their effect on the default payment. So for example, bill amount 1 has 14% chance that the pay amount 1 will be cleared, and you can create a similar analysis for other cases as well. Now I will be discussing about data processing for models. So for the implementation of models, the data processing was done that includes dividing the clean data set into training and testing in the ratio of 7:3. For model implementation, we have selected 4 classification models, which are random forest classifier, ADA boost classifier, support vector machine, and gradient boosting classifier. And their accuracies were 81%, 82%, 77%, and 79% respectively. So after the graphical analysis and implementing the above models, we came up with the following conclusions. Variables that affect the target variable are users with $145,000 limit tend to make the maximum level defaults. Clients, those who are single, tend to make maximum defaults. At the age of 34, clients tend to make the maximum defaults. Bill amount and the previous payment history tends to have direct impact on the default payments. Out of the 4 algorithms implemented, ADA boost classifier gives the best accuracy, that is 82%, while support vector machine classifier does not perform well on big data sets. Also, the financial institutions should be more conscious while issuing credit cards for females and with the graduate school education background. So now suggestions for future studies. So clustering of data based on age of the users is one of the most important deciding factors to implement the models and get better accuracy. So we can get 4 more models using subset selections, forward selection, and more to get the better accuracy. More relationships between independent variables can be analyzed to overcome the probability of multicollinearity. Increase the computational power issue to solve this problem with more complex algorithms to get better accuracy. So this is the bibliography that which we have used for this particular project. For any questions, you can just drop us an email at shgupta@clarku.edu or shigupta@clarku.edu. Thank you.